Hey guys, so I have this game idea. It's a MOBA, 70 champions, and basically I want it to function like League of Legends except reskin everything and make it my own. I can't offer you any money right now, but when the game is actually released, I'm going to obviously have microtransactions in there, and we're going to make millions of dollars, and I'm willing to give you 20% of that rev share. So private message me for more details. Morning guys, Tater here, welcome to Tater Games, and today we're talking about that one guy, that amazing guy, the idea guy. So if you've been doing game development for at least a year or something like that, you may actually notice you've come across these guys on the internet, usually the internet, or even in your real life. You know what, you can get the idea guy in the real life. And they debatably believe that they're the most valuable asset to the game development community, giving away ideas to people and stuff like that, in exchange for, of course, revenue share that is lower than theirs. You know, obviously these people are usually young kids or people who have never actually been in the game development industry, have this idea based on another idea usually. You know, some people think that they have original ideas when really it's kind of, you know, they've been playing a game of Call of Duty and being like, oh, I want to make a first-person shooter like Call of Duty, but slightly different. Believe me, if you're this guy, you are perfectly fine in my books. I find it very entertaining to read a lot of your Facebook posts and all of the Reddit stuff and all that type of thing. I don't use Reddit a lot, but I should. However, it peeves me off when talented people actually are gullible enough to fall for this trickery and to actually go through with working with this type of person. So this video is not really to discourage you from working with these types of people. You just got to understand what types of people this is, and truth be told, you're going to come across them eventually. So there are a few key components to actually detecting the idea guy. Number one is that he has very little skill outside of actually coming up with ideas. Number two, whilst he's advertising, he will always say revenue share and never actually offer you money up front. Number three, he doesn't put in the effort himself to actually seek out people that will be perfect for the job. He just advertises openly to anybody he'll take who can do the whatever he wants. So those are the three ways to actually spot this guy, and believe me, I used to be this guy, so I know what I'm talking about. There was a time in my life where I thought that I could create a MOBA game, and of course it is possible for a lot of people to do that. However, you do need a team. Regardless of what anyone says, it's very, 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 very difficult to actually make a MOBA by yourself, but we were so optimistic when we were younger, we thought we could do anything. Well, we thought that we could convince other people to do things that we wanted to create, obviously with this offer of revenue share, you know, thinking that our ideas are actually very original. However, the MOBA game we wanted to create was basically a reskin of League of Legends, no added sort of gameplay or anything like that. We were just like, well, people like games with different champions, you know? That's the key to success. There are a million ways to become successful. Having the idea is obviously a very important part, because without the idea, there's no motivation to try and achieve a goal. There's no goal really set for it. But you know, you can't just have the idea and not have the skills to actually do it. I see this type of thing everywhere, especially with some of my audience, and I urge you just to learn something, as long as it's programming, artwork, or music, or just anything that can actually contribute to the product. You're set to go. As long as you have some form of skill that can actually be applied to it, you're pretty much good to go. And that, my friend, is where you move from being the idea guy to just a guy who wants to make something with some other people and kind of needs some other people to help him accomplish it. I got fooled into this trap once, and it was somebody asking for like a team of people, and obviously he had a few other people working on a game. He showed me functions of the game, and it was only later I learned that he had just downloaded a complete package of the actual asset store, so I was fooled by that. No pun intended. No, but seriously, no pun intended. There was actually no pun in that sentence, so... Anyway, he tricked me into making music for him, and I made about 3 tracks for this guy, and it was like a sort of sci-fi looking thing, and it was really, really cool, and then nothing happened. This is why the idea guy does not have the motivation to continue, seeing as he's not putting much effort into the project at hand. You know, he's just going to come up with another idea next week, and then what are you going to do then? Do not make the same mistake that I did, and do not fall into the trap thinking that you're actually going to be paid something just because you've made a product. No, you really want that money first before you actually start working on anything. It's quite important, especially if you're doing work for somebody else. A lot of people fall into this trap of intellectual property. It's just something that happens, especially in this industry, and it's not something that you guys should really get involved with. So usually if you are doing work for somebody, accept the money first. More and more, request the money first. And if you really have passion in the project, and you can see a team of people that also have passion in the project, and you can actually see momentum in the project, and they can provide you with all the evidence of this and evidence of the idea actually springing out, then you must believe these people, because obviously they have something to offer. In my case, I was just talking to the lead developer, as he liked to call himself, but I didn't actually know what he did. I just saw the project there and I was like, oh, this has a lot of potential, so why not make the music for you? And so I ended up making 3 tracks, sent it to him, didn't get a reply, didn't get anything, and I don't believe that they're working on it anymore. Big waste of time on my behalf. Sort of a prerequisite of game development, you need at least one skill in order to make a game, at least one. Even if you're not performing that skill, for example, you could be leading the whole team and telling them what to do and stuff like that. As long as you understand one aspect of game development, you'll get along much better with your team, and you'll also convince other people that you know what you're doing as well. When some kid, and I'm ashamed to say this, that this is pretty much targeted at kids, because you know it's a 13-year-old guy on the other end of the line saying, "Oh, I have a great idea, I just played this and I want to make this." That's not how they talk, but that's just the way I read it. Usually it's some sort of broken English as well, and it's really ambiguous what they are trying to get at, and usually this type of thing just ends, you just waste your time. So guys, the message of this video is pretty much just to stay safe. You know, use those 3 rules to try and figure out who the idea guy is, and if you guys manage to find some people online, always screen cap them and link them in the Discord channel. We always like to have a laugh. The Discord channel should be in the link in the description, along with other social media links such as Facebook and Twitter. As always, thank you guys for watching, and a quick update to my game. It's actually nearly ready to be tested. It should be a few more days now until I have kind of a full functioning working sort of game up. I've also purchased the website, so that's pretty cool, and I got a decent IO domain name, thank God. So if you guys are interested, I'm actually going to show a screenshot now. It's a big improvement from the previous version, which was all pixel art, and now it's just kind of drawn artwork, hand-drawn artwork, all made by me, which is a big thing that I'm going to talk about when the video comes out about the actual game, because remember, I'm going to teach you guys how to make a game just like this. Anyway, enough of me. Go and be productive, guys. Have a great day, and I hope to see you guys in the next 3 days.